You want to know a little secret? Today, I'm going to tell you how to control time in your life. And just to give some context, some people feel like time is slipping through their fingers like sand. Other people feel like time is just not passing fast enough. Well, today I'm going to show you how to directly control that speed, that perception of time, based on your present needs. So let me ask you, have you ever felt like life speeds up as you age? Just think about it for a second. Why does that happen? And I spent some time looking on the internet, and there are actually a lot of theories about this. Some theories range from cellular clocks, and other theories talk about how the world is moving through some universal funnel that expands and makes time speed up. I actually don't know anything about either of these theories, but I do have some practical tricks to change your direct perception of time for your own benefit and well-being. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to give some background information, and then we'll talk about the techniques for how to actually control time. So as a child, everything is new to you. You're constantly changing environments, school year to school year. You're meeting new people, seeing new objects, new places, new knowledge, new concepts. Everything is new. Consciousness, or the mind that allows you to experience the world, as you know it, actually takes snapshots for memory. Like, it takes bits and pieces of the most important things of every instant, and it's just kind of recording these in your memory. Well, when we're young, our minds are actually taking more snapshots of experiences when they're new, exciting, and fresh, as opposed to experiences that are familiar, old, and unexciting. This actually happens throughout your entire life. So since objective time, the time on the clock, is the same for everyone, storing more of these snapshots of information in the same amount of time makes the moments feel longer. So for people that have experienced skydiving, it may seem like those minutes last a really long time, but it's really just your consciousness just really aware of the situation. You're taking in as much information as possible, and it kind of slows down your perception of time. So to give a mathematical example, if my mind takes 6 frames of an experience, like takes 6 snapshots, while yours only takes 3, then my perception is roughly, my perception of time feels roughly twice as long as yours. And this explains why childhood just feels like a really long period of time. So once you become an adult, though, you fall into a routine. Not only that, your life doesn't really change much from year to year. You drive the same routes, you see the same people, you do the same things, and you experience the same things. And then on top of that, you have additional responsibilities that are added to your plate. So all these commitments that accompany those responsibilities kind of tie us down to mundane and predictable routines. And many of the things we do on a given basis, on like a daily basis, are skills that we all know how to do pretty well. Like, we all know how to get dressed, we all know how to eat, we know how to speak fluently, we can drive, and we can do everything that our jobs require us to do. These mastered skills are actually governed by the unconscious mind, or the mind of habits. So it's during these moments that time actually begins to feel like it speeds up, and we're just going through the motions, trying to get to the next day. So because things are familiar and predictable, that conscious awareness, or that hyper attentive state of storing snapshots of information, actually decreases, and time begins to feel like it's passing faster. So how do you control your perception of time? Well, it actually goes back to what we were talking about already, and it involves utilizing these principles of presence versus routines. So if you're someone that feels like life is going too fast, you need to create opportunities that essentially engage your conscious awareness to take more snapshots during the day or throughout months, like I discussed earlier. You have to remember, though, we can engage consciousness by putting ourselves in new situations, new places, and learning and applying new skills. So when we break from our routines and we do something new, it actually feels uncomfortable, but this discomfort is effective in engaging your conscious awareness to take more snapshots of the world around you. This is kind of why traveling to a new place makes the city or country look so vivid and detailed, And also situations like going to your first day of work, just involving a lot of awareness so you don't make any mistakes or arrive late. For this reason, these experiences are typically the ones that are remembered the most and the easiest. Also, discomfort and strong emotions have an association with stronger memories. So if you've ever had a long day at work, I can bet it was because the day was stressful in some capacity, and also because you had to be quote unquote on all day. So now let's look at the opposite case. What about if you're someone who feels like life is going too slow? Maybe you're just in a cruising mode, you're waiting for time to expire so that you can get to the next phase of your life. This can look like killing a few months or a few hours, especially if you're waiting to do something with your friends, or waiting for the start of an internship or another semester in college. When there isn't a lot to do and you've got a lot of time, time seems to move excruciatingly slow. It's like when you become aware that you're going to leave work or class in the next 10 minutes, but those 10 minutes become extremely long. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And this is because you're just very aware or conscious about the time that is separating you from the present moment and where you want to be. So to speed up your perception of time, there's two things you can do. You'll need to get busy, or you'll need to build routines. Tasks are great for turning off the self-conscious part of the brain. So things that you want to ask yourself, especially if you're trying to kill a few hours, are like, what are things that you can do around the house? Can you get ahead on some homework? What about reading a book or doing some exercise? The thing that you want to keep in mind, though, is that you want to make sure that whatever you're going to do can occupy enough of your critical thinking skills, not like watching TV or scrolling through social media, because these activities are not challenging enough for you to fully turn off the conscious mind unless they're very interesting to you. So it's important to find something stimulating and pleasing. On the other hand, though, if you're waiting a longer time frame, so let's say you're trying to kill months or even years because you've decided that you've dedicated yourself to a long-term goal, you can understand that the journey sucks sometimes. Like, you just have to do the dirty work, and there's a lot of it, and you just have to be consistent. So oftentimes, the journey can make us question if what we're doing is actually even worth it. But we can distract ourselves and make time feel like it's passing faster by establishing a routine. So when we do the same things over and over, our brain slows down those snapshots of each moment that occurred throughout the day for our memory formation, and time feels like it just begins to speed up. And this is kind of like a scene in the movie where someone is working for months and you can only see like split-second overlays of the character working throughout different points of time just on the same thing. That's the same kind of analogy that applies here. We're just getting into the motion of things, we're kind of flowing through the activities, just going with the flow, we're just doing things, and we lose all track of that conscious awareness of time, and time goes by faster. So as you can see, you can have a very direct and active control over the perception of time in your life. And if you want to feel like you need to get your life back, break your routine, take a vacation, try something new out, like a hobby or learning a new skill. And if you want to speed time up, target creating routines and creating a sense of familiarity in your life. This power is available to you at any time and any day. Thank you.